Okay, so it's our fifth and final lesson together on our persuasive techniques, our chocolate scheme of work, and this final lesson is going to work on a couple of other different skills. So this lesson we are going to mostly be working on reviewing and researching skills, just to show that you have your whole toolbox of different non-fiction skills that you can use. So for a bronze level today, we are going to apply our research skills. You should already know how to do this, but we'll do a little bit of a reminder. For silver, you are going to examine how to write a review, and for gold, we are going to apply our understanding of this, and we're also particularly going to be focusing on structure as a bit of a focus. Right, so this lesson we're going to start off by doing a little bit of research. So at this stage what you've done is you've had a look at some adverts, some TV commercials or adverts as well for chocolate, and now you're going to research a bit more about chocolate. So we're going to look at the sort of history of chocolate. Now what I would like you to do for this task is take all of the research that you're doing and turn it into a Google Slides presentation, much like the presentation that I'm delivering for you right now on Google Slides. Now, these are the things that I'd like you to research. Number one, where did chocolate first come from? Number two, how has how we make and eat it changed over the years? So how was it first eaten and consumed or drunk even, and how has that changed today, and who was responsible for making it so popular? So these are some things that I'd like you to go away and research. So I would recommend making some personal notes first as you're researching, just to help you for when you come to put it all together. Now, as a challenge, some of you are not going to want to stop there at those three things. Some of you are going to want to go a little bit deeper down the rabbit hole of chocolate. So there's lots of other things that you can find out about chocolate, history of chocolate, where it's come from and where it's gone today. So go ahead and do your own research, be a little bit creative with it if you like, and if you want to push yourself a little bit further. So don't worry, I'm not going to leave you totally in the dark. I have found some websites for you. I've checked them out. I know all the information that you need is in there, and I've put them together. So these are the 4 websites I know that have the correct information for you to complete this task successfully. Now, if you go onto here, you'll notice that actually it's a hyperlink, which means that when you click on it, it will take you directly to the website. And this is true of the presentation, but also of the Google Doc that I've made for you as well. So it's all on there, ready for you just to click on it, and it will bring that website right up for you. However, if you're really interested and you fall down that rabbit hole of research, you don't have to just use these 4 websites. You can go ahead and Google the heck out of it, but this is just good to get you started. Okay, so how do you know if you have been successful at doing this research task? So you're creating a Google Slides or a PowerPoint presentation or the presentation software of your choice with the information on those 3 questions, those 3 topics that I've asked you to research. Now, a good way to structure this might be to have a slide with information about each of these points. Now, these are the things that I'm looking for success. Number 1, I want you to really think about how you organise your ideas. So, as I said, a slide each for each of those research points might be a good place to start. I think it would be really nice and perhaps quite helpful for you to include some images to support the information that you discover. Of course, you need to focus on writing with your most accurate SPAG. SPAG standing for spelling and grammar. So making sure that you're very careful about how you're writing your information down. Trying to make it look professional if you can. We want something that looks very smart. Take pride in your work. This is the most important thing of all. When you make a presentation to deliver, it's absolutely essential that you put the information that you find out in your own words, and I will tell you why. If you just copy and paste what you find off the internet, it's not going to go into your brain. It's going to go in your eyes and out of, I don't know, your ears, I suppose. It's just going to disappear. Okay, if you take the time to put it into your own words and your own language, you will understand that better. The process of kind of working through it in your brain, you are going to understand that information more. And what's more, if you were then going to deliver that presentation to people who are watching, it would be far more interesting. There's nothing worse than standing and listening to someone literally just read something off a PowerPoint. If you put it into your own words, it's going to come out a lot more fluently, and it'll sound a lot more interesting as well. And finally, I want you to think about identifying your sources, another thing that makes your PowerPoint seem very professional. So this means that you need to tell us where you found specific information. So if you found information from BBC Bitesize, for example, all you might need to do is just pop at the bottom of the screen a little thing saying BBC Bitesize so that we know where that came from. Or you could copy and paste the URL. That's the little thing that goes in the bar at the top when you're putting a website in. You could copy and paste that in as well. So go away and do that research in those three questions, those 3 research points. Put together your PowerPoint presentation, your Google Slides, whatever presentation you're making. And once you've done that, then you can pop back and we will move on to the next task. Right, we've made it. We are now finally ready for the final task of our short, chocolate and persuasive features scheme of work. And this task is going to involve writing a review. So here we have Mary, and she's thinking, well, you know what is a review for? Why would we even do that? What's the point of a review? And actually, you probably use reviews all the time and you don't even realise it. So these are the things that review writing do. So the number one thing that a review is for is to inform people who might be interested in something. It's also about sharing our experiences with other people. So this could be a good thing or a bad thing. Imagine you would really like to go to a coffee shop to get a hot chocolate. And you think, do you know what, I don't just want any hot chocolate, I want the best hot chocolate. I want an amazing hot chocolate, but I don't know where does the best hot chocolate. So you go onto TripAdvisor or Yelp or some other business review platform and you look it up. And you will see places that have been given 5 stars, you'll see places that have been given 1 stars by other people who have been there, they've visited it and they've sampled it for themselves, and it makes your decision making process a lot easier. If you go somewhere and you love the service that they give you, you might want to write a review for them and say, this place is amazing, thank you so much for giving me this amazing experience. And sort of the same if you have a really bad experience. Sometimes it's a good way to kind of share your displeasure or to kind of warn people as well so they don't have the same bad experience as you. Now, reviews can be for products, they can be for movies, businesses, books, etc. So it really can be, you can get a review for anything. They even have reviews for pens on Amazon, for example. You may well try a website such as Rotten Tomatoes if you want to see how good a movie is before you go and see it as well, and see what other people have thought of it. So these are all the reasons why we have reviews. This is why review writing is something that is really important and we use all the time. So, what are you going to be reviewing? Well, it only seems fitting that we do a nice little review of a chocolate bar that you really love. So we're looking for something quite positive here. We're not looking for a bad review. We're looking for a review of something that you really, really enjoy. Now, I am aware that some of you won't be able to eat chocolate. Perhaps you don't like it. Perhaps you're allergic to it. Perhaps you're vegan and but there are lots of nice vegan chocolates available as well. But maybe you don't eat chocolate, and that's okay. You can choose another snack that you really enjoy instead. So what I'd like you to do is write a review of a chocolate or a snack of your choice and give your opinion throughout. Now I've put together an example of one for you. So I decided that I was going to review Lindor because I love Lindor. Lindor and chocolate orange, absolutely amazing. So I'm going to share with you my review and talk you through how I put it together and how I structured it. So I started off by giving my review a title. I decided to go down the alliteration route and I called it Lovely Lindor. Now that actually makes it really clear what my opinion is on the product from the very start. It's called Lovely. We know that I've quite enjoyed it. Now, the first part of my review is a bit of an overview of what the chocolate's all about, basically. So I've given you a little bit of an introduction here, and I said Lindor, made by Lindt, is a delicious chocolate that comes in all sorts of varieties and flavours. You can pick up the original flavour in most supermarkets, and the more exotic flavours, such as mint and strawberry, are more widely available during holidays and celebrations. So I've just given you a bit of information there in my introduction. So what is it? And then I've developed a little bit more under the subheading what is it? And I've said the Lindor is a delicious chocolate sphere with a hard milk chocolate shell and a melting middle. So I've just given a bit of an impartial, which means I haven't really given an opinion too much there, bit of information about what the Lindor is. And you can see when you look down here that I have used subheadings. The subheadings are in bold and they're underlined. And this kind of just tells us what that paragraph is going to be about, which is quite a nice way to structure a review. Some people might not want to read the whole thing and they might just want to skip to the part about the taste, for example. So they can just scan down, find that subheading there, and that's the part that they're looking for, that they're interested in. So, but I'm going to read you through all of my subheadings here. So I've said, what does it look like? I've said the lovely Lindor chocolates are housed in a tall, angular red box with gold lettering. Inside, the individual chocolates are wrapped in a traditional style, looking similar to the kind of sweets you might spot in an old-fashioned sweet shop. Now, I could have developed this a bit further and given more of an opinion about it, because actually reviews are all about opinions. So I could have said here as well, if I'm reflecting on my own work, which is an important thing to do, I could have said that this is a very exciting packaging that I really enjoy looking at. I think it's visually very appealing. I could have said some positives about it there. Moving on to the next subheading, I've said, how do they taste? Once the metallic wrappers have been cast aside and the smooth globe of chocolate is melting in your mouth, you're likely to experience the same euphoria I did. I was delighted with my first bite. I enjoyed the silky smooth texture and the creamy flavour of the chocolate. You can see here I'm really starting to get opinionated now, and I'm starting to sort of push my opinion on the reader. And I'd like you to be as opinionated as you possibly can. Did you like it? Why did you like it? Make it better than mine. So what did you enjoy about it? And be as specific as you can. And the way you'd finish off a review is by giving your overall thoughts and recommendations. Now, this is the part that has to be mega opinionated. So I've said here, anyone who loves a bite-sized treat will enjoy Lindor chocolates. I personally found them scrumptious. Someone who likes something that they can really sit down and savour will love this. If you're looking for a chocolate that's a bit more on the go, this might not be the best choice for you. This is definitely something worth taking your time over. I give this chocolate treat 5 fantastic stars. So in this bottom section here, you want to include the following information: your overall opinion, who is the kind of person who would enjoy this product. So who do you recommend this for? Do you recommend it for someone who really likes peanut butter, for example, depending on the chocolate that you've chosen? And you want to give it a star rating as well. So I rate Lindor 5 stars, especially the mint flavour, because that is by far the best. Now, while some of you will be satisfied with those 2 tasks for your final tasks of the scheme of work, some of you will want to do this extra task. Now, this is an optional task for you to do, but I think it would be really, really fun if you wanted to have a go at this one as well. Now, what I thought might be quite fun to do is to create an advert for the chocolate bar that you came up with in the last lesson. So you have come up with it, you've decided decided how it's going to taste, how it's going to feel. You've talked about the senses that it's going to capture when you enjoy it. You've also created a magazine advert for this product. Now, what I think would be really lovely is if you try to make that now more of a reality, so making it more visual, perhaps even doing a picture of the product for a magazine, maybe even making a billboard. So this is what a billboard looks like, and I've chosen all adverts for dairy milk to show you. Quite a clever billboard really, isn't it, because it looks like a big chocolate bar. So I'd like you to either create a billboard design, a magazine advert page, so with pictures and everything like that, or even film a TV style advert. So you could do a little storyboard for how you wanted your TV advert to play out, or you could actually go away and make your own advert, your own film, a little mini film of what your chocolate advert would be like. Now that would be really fun. So once you do that, you can either pop it on Google Classroom or you can send it directly to your teacher. And if you're happy for us to share what you've come up with the rest of your year group, then let us know. Otherwise, it won't go any further. But if you want it to be shared, which I think would be really fun, especially if we get some TV style adverts on the go, then please do let us know, because we'd love to share some of those. Right, that's it from me. Thank you so much for doing this little scheme of work with me. I hope you've enjoyed it. And well done for all the hard work you've done so far. You really deserve a good treat. Maybe treat yourself to a lovely chocolate.